What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this prediction video. Now for this one we will be looking at the second Champions League semi-final taking place on the 1st of May, that is this Wednesday, as Borussia Dortmund host Paris Saint-Germain at Signal Iduna Park. Now the last time these two sides went head to head was on the 13th of December last year, actually in the group stages, as both teams were drawn alongside AC Milan and Newcastle in Group F, which was effectively the group of death in the Champions League this year. But it was only in the 51st minute where the deadlock was eventually broken by the home side Borussia Dortmund after Adeyemi finds a bit of space in the box. He's played in and he just cuts the ball back into the back of the net. A lot of people would turn around and say that PSG didn't defend that as clinically as they should have, but I think that takes quite a bit away from Dortmund's efficiency and their determination to get the goal. Unfortunately, their lead didn't last long, and in the 56th minute, PSG hit back after Zaire Emery with a fantastic solo strike, rocketing the ball past the keeper. And that was how the match ended, 1-1, with the spoils shared between the two sides. However, Dortmund looked strong in qualification while PSG kind of looked floundering. And for large periods of the group stage, the Parisians actually would have felt like they weren't getting through to the knockout stages. But somehow both teams managed to qualify, and here they find themselves meeting head to head once again in the semi-finals. We start off our team analysis with Borussia Dortmund. The last 5 fixtures for Dortmund have ended in 2 wins, 2 losses and a single draw. Their last match was unfortunately a 4-1 loss away at Leipzig in the German Bundesliga. In their last 5 matches, Borussia Dortmund have scored 9 goals but conceded 10. Frustratingly, in those last 5, not a single clean sheet for them. However, I think the standout player for Dortmund this season has got to be Füllkrug with 14 goals and 10 assists. A lot of emphasis was placed on players like Sebastian Haller and Daniel Malen coming into the season, players who would have been expected to get the goals. But due to injury issues and inconsistencies in terms of form, it has now fallen to Füllkrug to perform the duty of getting goals. And he's done it quite well for Dortmund, maybe not getting numbers as high as he should have been getting, or numbers as high as his predecessors in terms of players like Robert Lewandowski and Erling Haaland. But it's been okay so far. I think just Dortmund as a whole are just grinding out results when it's necessary and by the tiniest of margins. Next up, I want to talk Marco Reus with 7 goals and 7 assists. Marco Reus might seem to have fallen out of favor at Borussia Dortmund right now. Age is not on his side, and in his position as a winger, he needs to be quick, he needs to be tricky, he needs to be able to get assists and goals. And he's kind of fallen short in all of those departments in recent years. And finally, I want to talk Mats Hummels with 3 goals and 1 assist. Obviously, Mats Hummels plays centre-back, so for him to get 3 goals, I think is actually a really big deal. I think 2 of those goals came in the same match, but Hummels is mainly a threat from set pieces. It's where he is able to just fling himself at the ball from corners or free kicks and get those headed goals. But in this one in particular, Hummels is going to be under so much pressure. He's going to be dealing with a PSG attack that is quick, that is fluid, and I think Hummels is going to have to be alert, he's going to have to be composed, make sure he doesn't fly into tackles unnecessarily, and just be a defensive rock for his entire team. Next up, we look at the away side. Now for PSG, the last 5 fixtures have ended in 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Their last match was a 3-3 draw in the French league against Le Havre. In these last 5 fixtures, PSG have scored 17 goals but conceded 9. Curiously, they too have no clean sheets in these last 5 matches, but they've been able to just churn out so many goals, just produce so many great attacking moves and get on the end of them that it doesn't really matter. That draw actually led to them being crowned French League champions for the 3rd year running. They already have 1 trophy secured in their treble chasing campaign for the season. A big part of that campaign has got to be Kylian Mbappe. 43 goals, 10 assists. I think it's worth noting that Mbappe has more goals alone than Dortmund's top 3 scorers combined. Mbappe is just such a difficult player to deal with. The pace, the trickery, just popping up at different areas on the pitch and able to set alarm bells ringing on defenses. But if you put too much emphasis on a player like Mbappe, it frees up other players to get goals. And that's where our second player comes in Ousmane Dembele, with 5 goals and 14 assists. Dembele did a real number on his former employees Barcelona in the previous knockout fixture in the Champions League, getting goals in both of the away and home fixtures. Dembele is just such a fluid and dynamic player. He is so flexible, able to operate on either wing, able to use both feet. I think Dembele as well, so much pace, so much trickery. He's like Mbappe, but an Mbappe out wide. If you put too much emphasis on one, the other one will punish you. But the two together have fantastic chemistry as well. And our final player that I'd like to speak about for PSG has got to be Vitinha. Now, with 9 goals and 5 assists, I must be honest, I did not know too much about Vitinha coming into the season, but he has just blown me away. I have seen so much potential in Vitinha, a player who can orchestrate things from midfield, but who can also step up into a number 10 role to get goals if it's necessary. I think Vitinha right now is exactly what PSG needed for all of these previous seasons where they just fell short. He's the perfect player to just knit together their midfield and their front line. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 verdict. Now, Dortmund and PSG have played one another 4 times in the past, with Dortmund winning 1, PSG winning 2, and then a draw separating the two. That draw obviously was the last fixture in Dortmund. In their last 4 fixtures against one another, Dortmund have scored 3 goals, but PSG have scored 6, so that is double the goal output. I think so far one thing that we can see is that Dortmund get results at home, be it a win or a draw. Away, they really struggle in France. Injuries to players like Daniel Malen and Sebastian Haller have really thrown the balance out at Borussia Dortmund. These players have struggled with back-to-back injuries and also inconsistencies in terms of their form. So the onus has now fallen on players like Marco Reus, like Füllkrug, to get results, to get goals. And they've really struggled. I think Füllkrug has been decent so far for what he was brought into the club to do. Marco Reus, however, has, I feel, been below expectations. He's really struggled in terms of his form, in terms of his results. He used to be a player who was just amongst the goals all the time for Borussia Dortmund, but he's really struggled. I think this fixture in particular provides the perfect platform for him to earn some redemption from the Borussia Dortmund fans and his teammates. PSG, obviously having been crowned Ligue 1 champions, is a massive boost to them. As it stands, PSG are the only team left in the Champions League who are chasing a treble. So knowing that they've already got 1 trophy down really takes a lot of pressure off their shoulders. PSG have always scored against Borussia Dortmund. The German outfit have really struggled to shut out the Parisians. They've really struggled to deal with PSG's fluid, quick, dynamic attacking play, and it's really shown. I think the form of Ousmane Dembele is also something that cannot be understated here. It is also worth noting that before joining Barcelona, Ousmane Dembele was actually on the books of Borussia Dortmund, so for him, this is also a bit of a homecoming. And his form coming into this is just sublime. Having performed at such an exceptional level in both legs against Barcelona in the previous round, he comes into this one flying high. I think also we have to consider that no clean sheets in the last 5 fixtures for both of these sides means that defensively right now, they're not looking as solid as they would have liked to look. PSG conceding 3 for them individually would have felt disastrous, but it was enough to win them the league. Dortmund, on the other hand, conceding 4 against Leipzig is very damaging. Dortmund would often feel as though they are on the same level as Leipzig, so to have lost with that margin is a very difficult pill to swallow. I think coming into this one, PSG are obviously favourites, having dumped out Barcelona with such emphatic fashion, going to Barcelona's home ground and just winning with that scoreline says a lot. I don't see PSG struggling in this one. I think actually, as I said, them being favourites already counts a lot towards them, gives them a massive boost, a psychological edge coming into this one. And even though they are travelling to Germany, they know they have what it takes to get a result there. I think the final result here is going to be Borussia Dortmund 1, PSG 3. I think even though PSG have enough up front to just overpower Dortmund, I don't see them keeping a clean sheet here. I think we've seen Dortmund be ambitious and determined enough to grind out goals when it's necessary, but maybe not be able to seal the deal when they have to. And I think that will be the deciding factor here. The fact that Borussia Dortmund will score, but it will not be enough. PSG, I think, just have far too much firepower, far too many players enjoying great form right now, and I think just far too much quality on paper to be undone against Borussia Dortmund. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.